Welcome back, good space builders. Pat again, working on my deck still, but I want to take a quick break and talk about the Pro Plug system by Kebony. It is pretty nice overall. I recommend that you definitely stick with the Kebony plug system if you're going to use the Kebony deck product. It's made from the Kebony wood, obviously, and just matches pretty well. Let's get into what's in this Pro Plug system. So on the box, you're going to see the screws, the plugs, and the T20 bit, plus a glue nozzle. So let's get to the screws. Screws, normal I think it's 2.5 inch, 2.5 inch screw. Comes with the Pro Plug glue nozzle, which you just put on a good quality exterior wood glue bottle. And the reason I actually like this is like all the other plug systems, the top of the nozzle fits in pretty well to the actual hole that you drill for the plug. Obviously it comes with the plugs as well. And lastly, it comes with the bit. The bit is so important to remember because, like most people, they think that it comes with, when they see bit, they're thinking drill bit, but this is not included in the Pro Plug kit. So you have to buy this separately, which you can probably see here. It's like a Pro Plug drill bit with the countersink for the plug. You can just get it on Amazon for 10-12 bucks or so. In most places you can get it overnight or 2-day shipping. And let's go ahead and show you, like that's the packaging, and also comes with 3 drill bits and then 1 of the countersink plug bit that you use, plus the Allen wrench to remove the drill bits when needed. So overall, this has been pretty nice to play with. I've put in other plug systems, and for this type of plug system, I'm going to give you a couple pro tips here because everyone loves pro tips. I'm going to do the first one here. When you put in the plug itself, let me get it just right for you. And hopefully you can see it a little bit. I'll try and be as... There is actual wood grain to the plug. So when you're putting the plug in, you want it to go with the grain so it blends in better. Definitely. I noticed the first couple that I put in, I didn't realize what I was doing, and I just knocked them in, and then I sanded them down, and I was like, oh, well, luckily I put them in a spot that was just mainly a testing area for me. So I'm not going to really see them. And that's another pro tip. If you're going to put in the plugs, test it out in an area where most people won't see the plugs. It might not be for everyone on that, but at least you can try and find one section that you can do 2 in the top deck, and hopefully you can figure out what you needed to do to make it look a little better. The second pro tip is I use, on this right here, I use a multi-tool or just a sanding electrical sander to take off if you didn't make a deep enough hole and the plug is sticking up quite a bit. Definitely the electric sanders work great. And I usually, what I'm doing and what I found was best, let's see, we got the I got a 220 grit that's on the electric sander, and then I come back with a hand sander, and this one is a 400 grit, so I want to make sure that you see that. And that was the combination for me that made all the plugs look pretty good. And I'm going to show you where I did a little test. So one section of my deck I put in the plugs, let them sit for a week at least already, And I just recently sanded a couple down so you could see the difference of what it looks like sanded right away, and then a week later what the difference is. So I learned that from one of the Kebony reps that helped me out. I asked, like, what was the better sand, what was the better grit to use for sanding down the Pro Plug. So let's go take a quick look at that. I'm gonna come on over here. This is the corner, and I tried to make sure I did it where the sunshine was coming in so you could really see it. So right here, these three guys, I went ahead and sanded just right before I started this video. So this is very newly sanded plugs, but right next to it, and these have been in for a week, but so I just roughed them up again just so you can see what it looks like when it's freshly sanded. The other plugs right here, you might not be able to see them, or maybe you could, but this is a week old after sanding the way I just told you, doing the 120 grit on the electric sander and then 400 grit on the hand sander. You can barely see those plugs right there. So it's really been amazing to learn that technique, and I highly recommend doing that as well. And overall, I think the other pro tip, use a rubber mallet when you're putting them in. And one more, find a good quality exterior glue that's made for wood. Most of the suppliers where you go pick up your Kebony products, they're gonna have the glue there. You can just buy it on hand. The other suggestion I can make is, say you bought the Kebony product and had everything shipped to you, even the accessories, and then you run out, make sure you call the supplier to find out when the next shipment comes in. Most of them will do it overnight from a larger distributor. That way you can get it next morning on will call, but just double check, because sometimes it might take a week, it might take 2 weeks. So just want to throw that out there. So anyway, just want to give you a quick update on the Pro Plug system. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll keep moving on with my deck, and I'll show you some more coming down the line.